In this video, we will bring to light how a physical disability, specifically cerebral palsy, impacts the lives of those affected. It will be made apparent that there are many different types of physical disabilities that exist, and that these disabilities may be present from birth or caused by an outside source, such as a car accident or stroke. In our video, we will adopt the social model lens rather than the medical model and stress the importance that a physical disability does not define a person or what he or she is capable of accomplishing.
Cerebral palsy, also referred to as CP, is a disability that affects a person's ability to move. It can affect muscle control, muscle tone, posture, balance, muscle coordination, and reflexes. Cerebral palsy is a lifelong condition. Some symptoms can improve or worsen over time. Individuals with cerebral palsy may also have learning, hearing, visual, speech, epilepsy, or intellectual impairments. Cerebral palsy is damage to one or more specific areas of the brain during fetal development, usually before, during, or after birth or during infancy. CP is not an issue with muscles or nerves, but rather faulty development or damage to motor areas in the brain that disrupts the ability to properly control movement. Some causes of cerebral palsy include hypoxia, ischemia, asphyxia, prematurity, neonatal infection, drugs, or alcohol.
Signs usually appear before 18 months of age. Starting from birth to age 5, a child should reach movement goals such as rolling over, sitting up, standing, and walking. A delay in reaching these movement milestones could be a sign of CP. There are 8 clinical signs of cerebral palsy: muscle tone, movement coordination and control, reflexes, posture, balance, gross motor function, fine motor function, and oral motor function.
Spastic CP causes stiffness and movement difficulties. Spasticity is a form of hypertonia or increased muscle tone. When affected by spasticity, the faster a limb is moved, the stiffer it seems. People may have difficulty moving from one position to another and controlling individual muscles or muscle groups needed for performing certain skills like handling objects or speaking. Athetoid CP leads to uncontrolled movements. Individuals with this type of CP fluctuate between hypotonia, causing the appearance of floppiness in the muscles, and hypertonia. This causes difficulty in the control of the hands, feet, arms, and legs, making grasping objects and walking difficult. Ataxic CP causes a problem with balance and depth perception. When trying to do voluntary movements such as walking, the individual may appear clumsy or unstable, and the movements will not appear smoothly as a result of an interruption in the muscle control in the arms and legs. Developmental effects can vary from mild to severe impairment depending on the level of brain damage. CP can also cause additional medical issues such as visual impairments, hearing loss, food aspiration, gastroesophageal reflux, speech problems, drooling, tooth decay, sleep disorders, osteoporosis, behavior problems, and intellectual disabilities.
Treatment of associated conditions of CP can be managed and frequently improved by early diagnosis and therapy. Medicines can be given so that muscles aren't as tight. The medicine can either be prescribed to a certain body part or to the whole body. Physical therapy such as stretching, strengthening, and positioning helps improve motor skills. Speech therapy can be used to improve speech skills. Sign language is also an option. The average lifetime cost for one person with CP is $921,000. Care needs include assistive devices, counseling, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, and schooling. Modifications in the home will allow easier access around the home for the child. They will also allow the child to have more independence. Some modifications include alert devices, bathtubs with doors, knobs, handles that are easier to grab, lower sinks, modified shelving, non-skid floors, ramps, lifts, or elevators. CP will usually not stop kids from going to school and making friends. However, the classroom accommodations allow children to be able to do the tasks that others are doing. Accommodations will be established and specialized for each child. Many common oral responses versus written, itinerant teacher or supplemental or replacement support, and shortened or modified questions, as well as extended time on assignments. CP can range from very mild to very severe. However, there are some psychological factors such as anxiety, bullying, problems with coping, depression, anxiety, or stress. After transitioning into adulthood, people with CP can go to lead very normal lives. Supported employment helps people with CP sustain a job or an occupation. Employers are required to make any necessary accommodations for their employees with CP. The new job accommodation network provides assistance to all employees.
I went through occupational therapy and speech therapy, and I was always working to take control because I was never allowed to use my disability as, well, most people use it as a disability. And that's the thing is, I grew up, my family was very, I wouldn't say strict, but they were like, you're not allowed to say you can't, because can't shouldn't be in someone's vocabulary. You can, you choose not to. And I grew up with a Marine grandfather. So,
wow, that's tough.
So it was, can't was definitely not my vocabulary. It was always yes. It was never no, maybe, it was yes.
RJ conquered his cerebral palsy mentally, physically, and socially. Previously limited by equipment to relieve suffering such as foot binders and speech therapy, RJ is now able to walk correctly and speak eloquently. In conclusion, cerebral palsy is a disability that affects many of all ages mentally and physically. Although the impairment poses many difficulties throughout a lifetime, the symptoms of CP can be lessened through physical therapy along with consistent mental support. One can live a normal life with cerebral palsy and even conquer the disability. You just have to believe you can.